Hello everyone and welcome back to another Taco Web live stream. Today's music is brought to you by J Something. Link is in the comment below, or in the description rather. So last time we were here, we built our storage system extension. I started putting some items into here, but I just needed to place a lot of blocks, so I didn't specifically concentrate on that. Kind of broke things down, so I got my snow slabs, I've got my snow blocks, ice, packed ice, and blue ice. Let me turn the music down just a touch. Highly professional over here, guys. Oh, there we go. Much better. Perfect. Okay. And then we got our food items here. So, I believe last time I had gotten a bunch of villagers up into my base, up into the penthouse apartment suite, but I had not sorted them out. Since then, I sorted them all out, and then I locked in trades, so I have all kinds of great trades upstairs. And I think I left my ender chest outside because I was working on stuff. So if we come up here to the penthouse, oh, I also got a new mouse. I went from a Razor to a new Corsair. The Razor, I think, was just wearing out. It was like double clicking on the right click from time to time. It was getting really annoying when you're trying to place blocks with any sort of precision. But look, I made a full-on villager trading hall. So yeah, this is pretty sweet. I swear to God, I had an ender chest right here. Okay. I know I have one upstairs, so I can grab my emerald box. So yeah, basically I went back to the old base and I cleared out anything that I could get. So I have my zero tick paper farm that I was using. Took all the sugar cane out of that. And then I also took all of the rotten flesh out of the base. I got my potatoes from here, I got my carrots, got my wheat, I got like a little bit of everything, and pretty much maxed most of these guys out. If there's a torch in front of them, it should mean that they're maxed out, and actually, this guy is maxed out. So, yeah, so now I'm just eating golden carrots. They're great. Should just stick with that from now on, I think, because why not? So I've got all kinds of good trades in here. There's impaling 4. I think I can get impaling 5. Channeling, sweeping edge, protection, sharpness 4, flame, silk touch, fire aspect. I think I got a mending guy over here. I still have to go back through and mark these guys out. So basically they are all librarians except for a few. So I've got a mason or 2. I haven't leveled them up. This guy is mastered out. Bottle O enchanting. I was very disappointed. I leveled up these Fletchers and arrow of invisibility. I think there's 2 more over here. That one didn't even have any enchanted arrows. This guy here gives strength, so I shoot them and then they get strength, so that's great. Or they turn invisible, whichever. So yeah, I was a little disappointed with that, but overall, can't be too disappointed when you have mending books for like 13 emeralds. It's pretty awesome. If you guys didn't know how to do that, basically all you have to do is get the villager in there, into the space that you want them at. And I did have some troubles, because I think it's a line of sight issue. So once I got them all locked in there with the trapdoors up here, it's 1/4 of a, 20% of a block higher than their head, lower than their head, so they can't get out. So you pop in your workstation and then you can just keep removing it and putting it back in until you get the trade you want. Unfortunately, they were like grabbing workstations from all these other guys. So yeah, it was kind of annoying. I had to like end up like boxing guys out, so I was just, blocking this off like that to try and get them to lose their old trades. And then I just had to sit here and wait. Total, probably, I don't know, 30 Minecraft days. It took hours. It was awful. But yeah, that's kind of what you have to do if you want to have like decent setup. Next step to that is to get some of those guys infected and then cure them, make them into zombie villagers, and then go from there. So if you look up here, you can see that I've made some progress, and I think I updated my map earlier. Yeah, so this was the pipe going out to the villager breeder, which keeps breaking. I'll have to show you that. So I made a little dock, I made a fishing hut, and then a lighthouse out here. I'm also working on walling off this area. This actually goes all the way over to about here. So I think it's right on the edge of the map, basically. It's right in this area. So just want to kind of wall in the property and then go from there. So like my basic claim area, I might have to extend this whole map over one more set of item frames, but you can still see basically everything at this point. Let's take a little bit of a fly down. Oh, look at that, it's a lighthouse. It was a little thicker than I wanted it to be, but... Oh, and it's not gonna work right now, look at that. She's all locked up, but... Just do one of these guys here so I can get across. So I'm gonna have to break that. So I made a conveyor system. I wanted to try and make the lighthouse... You know how like they spin around and they shine their light? I wanted to be able to do that. Once you get outside of chunk loading range, kind of breaks it. It had basically worked all day from what I saw until I logged out, and then it got really weird. So basically flip that guy, and then that creates a conveyor system with the pistons. I don't know if there's a more efficient way of doing it than this, but I just put a bunch of observers on slime blocks, so every time the pulse gets around to them, it just pops over. I probably didn't have to do this whole line. I probably didn't have to do both of these on each one, but I was playing with timings, and that was just what I ended up leaving there. So, oop, almost didn't fly there. The other thing, I made this little like hut here. I'm not exactly sure what to call it or what I'm gonna do with it exactly, but I decided to try and make it look like a compass, and that actually does point back to spawn. So interesting little detail. So I'll just carve it on top of slabs and blocks. Fishing village here, or fishing house. I think I actually made it too tall, so I may have to drop that down a level. But yeah, just a little staging area so that I could build out this way without any major issues. I did put up a beacon. I don't know how much I was down this way before, but I ended up removing like a hill that was all the way up to like maybe 4 blocks around from the top of that tree, and then terracing it all off. So I wanted to kind of like make a little park area, maybe some farmland up here, a couple little water streams going down. So yeah, just basic terraforming in the area, restructuring. Got a little pathway to go out here. probably gonna try and like take that all the way up and maybe up through that little pass in the mountain there. I think that would be kind of cool. But just trying to plan out the whole area and then see how much room I have to work with. I still have farms to build at my base, but I was just kind of getting burned out on doing that, so decided to do some other things. Other thing that I was trying to do, or thinking about doing, put it up, let me see if it grows on me. Changing out the iron bars for some birch fences and adjust the lighting in this area. I still want to get rid of these torches and put in some sea lanterns, but I have not gotten that far yet. That guy doesn't belong there. What is that doing there? So, yeah, I mean, just kind of basically out, and then I started to build a wall to encapsulate everything. Which you kind of saw on the map, it was just 2 lines because it's kind of just a shell at this point. And I needed a wall over on this side so that I would have something to terminate the terraces against. Kind of like the design of it. And then to adjust for the height differences in the terrain, tearing them up. Tearing, not tearing. But either way. Swing down here. And I think I'm going to try and keep this pattern going around. Make it look a little bit like it's a club card. You know, just have like the three corners on the edge there. Saw some missing blocks here, so I'll fill those guys in. So yeah, I mean, it's coming along. I've done a lot of work just terraforming and moving stuff around, planting trees, making some pathways. I also did collect up some animals here. I didn't have sheep at this base, so I had to go collect up some sheep and pigs. I only found 1 donkey, unfortunately. I want to get more. And then there were some wild llamas over here. Other side of that, up on that ridge there. So, yeah, make up some llamas. Probably put some of those in boats with some chests on them so that I can transport some materials around. Because I do want to make like a satellite base. There is a jungle biome kind of off over to the side over in that general direction. Actually, it's not that far. I can probably just show you. Still using the Duration 3 rockets, which I am becoming a big fan of. It just takes some getting used to. Server is doing okay today. I had some issues the other day. Look at how far you can see that. That's pretty sweet. And then I also did play with some shaders, but they were just destroying my system, so I kind of just let it go. So here's the jungle biome. So it really isn't that far. That's where I got my parrots from, but I have not found any panda bears, and I want to be able to get some pandas back to my base because I need them for the zoo. I think if I follow to the north along the coastline, there is another like glacier iceberg biome, and I know there are some polar bears there. So yeah, once I get into that project a little bit better, I can work on that. See if the lighthouse is gonna work. Nope, it's all locked out, so I'll have to figure that one out. I think I may have to add a clock of some sort, which should not be that big of a deal. And I think I will probably use a hopper clock. So yeah, otherwise it just constant resetting this stuff. I did farm out some more shulker boxes last time. Yeah, I think I showed you guys that last time. So I started dyeing them yellow and then naming them property of Taco Web, just so that I can identify them. Then I did make this wheat field here so that I can breed up some animals. Kind of want everything walled in so that, like, even if they start to wander, they're not going to go that far, you know. I don't know, I'm starting to thinking like pretty massive scale right now. So you know, 50 chunk square area, maybe 100 chunk square area, I don't know. And then I also made these lights here. So there's a daylight sensor on top of these redstone lamps, and they are set to darkness. So whenever it goes dark, they turn on, and then the crops continue to grow. So I know it's an old trick, but it's so cool to just watch it flip over. So I have all this area here to develop. My zoo will come out this way. It's going to come out that way, and then there might be another round hub here, and then I think there may be another round hub over here, and then a long pathway back this way with another round hub. And then I was hoping to be able to reuse some of this terrain back here, because that'd be kind of cool to keep some of the water and everything else in here. Up here. This is the only downside to the grade 3 rockets. Yeah, you just go a lot farther. So yeah, I lit up a whole lot of area over that way. And yeah, I still have way more to go, because if you come over here, I can probably catch the side of the wall. There is the corner of the wall. So yeah, this is a pretty massive area. I just did some layout lines here. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with the wall as far as layout goes, or the aesthetic of it, but right now it's just stone bricks. So I pretty much went through all of the stone that I had, and then I went to the Guardian farm. Took like 4 or 5 shulker boxes worth of stone from there. Alright, so if we jump in here, let's go downstairs. Just want to make this a nice little short episode. I haven't really done anything with this. I'm actually thinking that as long as my coordinates are the same, I can just drop this straight down and then match everything up. And then I have a lot of digging to do, but I just want to be able to fly to everything. I don't really need paths or ice boat bridges or anything like that, but you know. Oh, there we go, rubber banding again. I just want to be able to fly to the other areas. Also, need to make a wither skull farm. So I think that what I'm going to try and do is get them through portals up to the overworld, and then do a creeper farm, and then see if we can use the channeling on the trident to get charged creepers, and then get the heads that way, because I have probably spent a solid 10 hours or so farming wither skulls for beacons, and I'm down to my last one. I think I gave one to Mia. I think I gave one to Aknor. And I'm just kind of running out. And I like to have the super beacons going whenever I'm working on stuff. And I don't really want to remove the beacon that's in the middle of my base. So I need to have at least 1 or 2 more, so that I can have like the full haste couple of areas. Let's shoot out here to Agnor's base. I think I said something about it last episode. But yeah, he's made some major progress out this way. And I found out what his mystery building project was. So, oh, what are you doing there? He doesn't light up his builds though. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. So this was this little Viking house here. And then I think I did a flyby with his major building project. How did that not hit him? How many freaking skellies are here? Alright, that's just ridiculous. Now the zombie's coming. Oh, it was awful. In my base earlier, there were like 5 of the little baby zombies, and they were just chasing me around, and I could not hit them with arrows. Every time I'd shoot, they'd like zigzag around me, and then, yeah, it was awful. So this is what he built. It was based off of a design that he had made in an old world. Let me jump up there so you can see. Oh, I think I left my fireworks chest out. So it was an old Viking house design, but what he decided to do was make it into a lighthouse, which, I mean, look at that. That's pretty freaking sweet. I think it's all oak and spruce. Man, that's pretty sweet. He built it quick too. I mean, he doesn't play very much on the server, but he did it in like a week and a half of just placing blocks and gathering. I think I gave him maybe a shulker box or half a shulker box of oak, but oh, and it is spawnable. Look at that. So then the next thing he did was start building a village down here. So he wants to populate this village at some point, which I told him I would help him out with. I have a shulker box that's pretty much nothing but rails and powered rails and, you know, mine carts. And we're gonna save game and rubber band. If you go up here, I believe that there is a village. I think it's over this way. Having issues with the chunk loading today, apparently. Nice looking horses down there, and brown sheep, most rare sheep there is. And maybe I am completely off with my sense of direction. I haven't spent a ton of time out this way. Alright, so there's this portal. So that means that the village... I just don't recall. I think it's... I thought it was to the north. Actually, this would be north, isn't it? This is facing west. There is the village. Which this is one of the sweetest villages that I've seen. I guess I'm just too used to all the desert villages, but like this seems like way bigger than any of the desert villages you're gonna find. Covers like a huge amount of area. I don't want to ruin this by having mobs out there and kill all the villagers, because we are gonna have to collect them up. So it's really not that far. What do you think? Maybe 5 chunks? 8 chunks? 10 chunks? Something like that. A couple hundred blocks, either way. So I am very confident that I can get villagers over here for him without anything special. He's got his farms rocking pretty hard here, so. Oh, look at that. He even made like an interior for the cows to go into. I don't have any wheat on me. Sorry, guy. Way too many chickens. White sheep, red sheep. He's got sheep all over the place. Standard farms over here. I'll have to tell him that he can expand that out. They can spawn on either side. So yeah, he's done some work, man. It's like serious. Let me see here if I can figure out which direction is back. Actually, I'm gonna do myself a favor here. I am digging the new mouse. It is smooth. I haven't really played around with settings a whole lot, but it's on point. Really enjoying it. So I'm gonna say negative 1536 by 1434. So if I get lost, at least I have some sort of a reference. Because I believe I should be able to find the one Guardian farm down here. There is the first Guardian farm. Well, the first sea monument. It's not necessarily the Guardian farm. Keep going this way. As the longest chunks decide to continue to load. Alright, and this should be the beach that I leveled off a good portion of it. Yeah, I think that's right. So our Guardian farm should be over here. Alright, maybe I am lost. Oh, I think we're on the other side of this savannah. Yeah, right over here should be. Cross my fingers. There it is. Alright, so yeah, I can kind of find my way around here. Usually, I just take the nether portals and don't even worry about it, so. You guys are so cool. I did have a little bit of an issue with the item sorting system down here, and I have not figured it out yet. We can just check on it quick. So, Mia has been working the walls, trying to get all that stuff tied up. I think she might have them all done. Yep, all of the walls are done. So I think the only thing that I still have to add here, besides just cleaning up shulker boxes, is an enchanting station. And then I did have an ender chest here that somebody stole, or broke, or did something with it. And then you can stand in here and still reach the anvils as far as using enchanting books goes. But I was down here and I had a bunch of these prismarine crystals shooting out of the overflow system. So I'm not exactly sure why the shulker box was full, but it wasn't ejecting it. So this guy still is sorting, that guy is still sorting, and it's letting him through. And that is full up. And I am not sure what is going on there. It may not have caught up with it because after I manually changed out the shulker box on the bottom, oh yeah, it's still pushing them through. So what I did was I manually removed that shulker box there, made sure that I had plenty of shulkers in here, and then it kicked out into this chest. But I just added a button right down there to spit out a new shulker box. Just not quite sure why it wasn't working. So have to let everything rock and roll through here. Actually, you know what? what I should probably do is just shut off the flow. Let the whole system catch up. At least those 2 hoppers are done. Why were there stone buttons in there? Where the hell did they come from? Why aren't those items feeding in there? Wondering if I have a redstone signal somewhere that's not supposed to be there. I have no idea what it would be coming from. Blocking a hopper or something. Like, this hopper here is the one we were looking at. Oh, and now it's empty. Right? No, we were looking at this one. Lag? I don't know. Strange things are happening here on Taco Web. That guy's empty. I mean, stuff's flowing the way that it's supposed to. So I have no idea why it's doing what it was doing. It just doesn't make sense to me. So just shut off the flow of that up there and then see what we can figure out down here. Apparently Mia died. So now in theory, those buttons should have flown through the system. There's the carpet. Still not sure where those buttons were going at. Or coming from, I should say. Oh wait, no, I had the buttons. Okay, carpet went through. Not sure why they say unbreakable though. I don't think I've ever seen that on an item, so I don't know if somebody's done some funny business or what. I'll have to check out what the MBT tags on those are. But eventually, this guy should start to clear out, and then we should be in good shape. So, this one here, and it's not loading anything through. Nothing's spitting out there, and I can't look in that shulker box. I have no way of getting in there. Wait, do I have a trapdoor here? I don't know if I can swim in there with the. I don't know if I can like swim inside of those guys. Do I have any wood here? Really don't think I have any wood here. I have some acacia wood. Take a quick trapdoor and see if we can jump down in there. Because I honestly, I have no idea why it's doing that. System worked perfectly fine for quite a while. Guess I'll have to place that there. Nope, not there. I can make that work, but I gotta drop it down one more notch. And then pull these guys here, we'll just duck down. Nope, that's not gonna work. I need to drop this down on top of my head. So how do I make that happen? So that guy is there. Do that? Huh? Huh? No, of course not. Let's get rid of that and put some stone down here. Okay, hey, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. And I went into the wrong one. I need to go back into this space here. Alright, so we duck, hit that. Oh, there we go. Okay, so nothing in this one, nothing in that one. So it's feeding through. I just don't understand why we're getting a signal from something. So I almost need to break that shulker box and see that shulker box and see if there's something in there that's blocking it, or if it's full, or if it's just not kicking off because it just isn't making sense. This comparator here should be grabbing an output from that hopper. This guy's full. Kick that over, run through there, kick the piston down to break it. So I don't know. Let's take one more look up top. And it's still holding that stuff in there. Because it's pulling the signal from this guy. So where's it getting a signal from that's blocking it? It doesn't make sense. I mean, unless that signal could be passing down to a lower hopper, that wouldn't make sense. That's empty, that's empty, that's empty, and that's empty now. So maybe it is done. I had 3 boxes in here before. I'm so tempted to just break that thing and try and put it back in the system, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll keep an eye on it. Oh, so satisfying watching all those guys fall. Let's bite a carrot. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this thing turned out. Might have to, like I said, definitely put a enchanting table here, bring some more anvils over. I actually forgot to bring anvils the last time, so I had to like smelt up everything that I had in there. But yeah, I think I took, yeah, it was like say 2 1/4, 2 1/2 double chests of stone back for my walls. And I still don't think that's going to be enough, so definitely going to have to help Mia out over on her mall dig out, the big dig. And yeah, I think that's probably going to be what's going on this week. Definitely need to upgrade a few farms in my base. I've just been having such a hard time handling villagers. Like, I'll spend 45 minutes making a farm, and then I will spend 3 hours wrangling villagers in. And it's just really frustrating. I'm kind of tired of dealing with villagers. Getting those guys all into their spots was kind of a nightmare. I did find a nice technique for doing it though. So all of the places where, here, I'll just show you. All of the places where I have villagers in the trading hall, I basically just laid down a whole bunch of beds and then blocked them in and popped a trapdoor in place. So it might be a good technique for you because the villagers are going to go to bed and I always get stuck in this damn thing. Zoom zoom. Oh, I should turn on the shaders and let you guys see what it looks like. Shaders. Pretty awesome. I just can't play it with the frame rates that I get. My processor is pretty old. Got a GTX 1660, so the video card is a new one, but yeah, I don't know. Some days this thing has a hard time running with everything that I've built. But I think the bulk of it is probably on the processor side that I'm struggling with. So here's what I did. I had a crap ton of beds, and I actually had to, if you remember from last time, they all went up to my penthouse apartment. I had to remove all the workstations and beds from up there. So I got a bunch of boats, started bringing them down, and then once it hit nighttime, I would break the boats. So I would take a bed like this, up against a wall. Where's my mock wall? Alright, so put a bed here like this, and then I would block this out like so, and then I would put a block across like that as soon as they jumped into the bed, and then break it. And then I would just jump up on top once they were trapped in there, and then give them one of these. So, yeah, I mean, it's a simple process. It's just actually getting them to do what you want them to. Yeah, that's not fun. And like I said, it was like hours of just screwing around with these stupid guys. So, other than that, I think that's about all I have for this evening. I'll keep updating the map as I go, and maybe I will kind of post progress on there. I did get to rebuild my whole area, so here's my kitchen. Got my steak over there, and I was also replenishing the fridge with all of my villager traits. I got rabbit stew over there. Got all kinds of good stuff. I thought I put empty bowls up here, but I could be wrong. So yeah, I'll have to fill these out with empty bowls. My bed is basically rebuilt. So I got a little bit of storage at the foot of the bed. I got storage all around. Got my armor stands with my backup stuff. That's some of it. So yeah, I mean, oh, and here is my statue book. So this is, oh no, why'd you do that? There we go. Alright, so the statue book, if you guys haven't played with this, you should get it. It's really great. You can like basically do presets of statues or armor stands, and you can change them however you want. Like, there are so many adjustments. It's great. Basically, you just have to get the data pack installed on your server, and then put a command into a command block that will generate the book for you. So I have to give Mia one, and then a few other people, but I mean everything. You can put an item in their hand, and then I think this is salute. You can put an item in the hand and then remove the whole thing, and then it looks like it is, that's not a salute. It'll look like it is just an item on a table or something small. It's way sweet. Here's my little closet. I got some backup elytras in here. Couple, 5 or so. I still have to enchant a bunch. Oh, lock myself in. But yeah, I mean, I got all kinds of stuff going on. Just trying to do some just basic layout and figure out what I want to be doing here for the next couple of weeks. And then I am definitely going to have to take on my farm back here. The kelp farm. It just does not want to work correctly. I mean, you can see it here. All the kelp just kind of hangs out. So I can shrink this by about half the size and make it way more efficient. And not to mention the fact that if I come down here, there are always mobs that get sucked in there. Yep, what are you doing? Oh, you know why? Because they just pick up stuff. Can I just kill? Can I? Oh, there, I hit him once. Can I hit him? Yeah, that's why I keep hearing him down there. Because they keep picking up kinds of goodies down there, which are going to completely clog up my system. So yeah, now I have to empty out the hoppers, and then I should be okay. But I definitely have to mob-proof this a little bit better. I think guys are just falling in here. Once they pick something up, of course, then they just stay there forever until you kill them. So yeah, I got some cool ideas going on. Trying to make it all happen. So if you guys liked, please subscribe, hit the like button, give me some comments, some feedback, anything you guys want to tell me, unless it's just vile and disgusting, and then you can keep it to yourself. But yeah, so this is kind of what we were working on this weekend, and I know there is a trader there. I see your bubbles. So yeah, I'll figure out how to do the villager trading thing with the infecting them and then curing them. I'm gonna have to come up with some sort of a system so that I can push them back into their place and or drop them down to a lower level where I can keep them a little bit more organized. I couldn't organize them the way that I wanted to, basically because they were picking up from the stations across the way from them. So I don't know, maybe I'll drop some of these guys down to a lower floor and have a floor of like librarians. Also plan on making an area on the lower level, so like the ground floor, for blacksmiths and toolsmiths. So yeah, I still have a lot of leveling up, a lot of stuff to gather to get them leveled up, but once they are, you get all kinds of good stuff. So Silk Touch, Power 3, Fortune, crappy Fortune, but I was kind of going for low cost, good enchants. I think I have, yeah, there's Projectile 4, that's pretty good. And Endless Name Tag. So there's Mending for 22. I think I have one for 14. So, yeah, if you liked it, like the video, subscribe, do whatever. I'm usually on here. I'm trying to update at least one time a week. The work schedule's a little bit hectic at the moment, so yeah, I had to basically take this whole weekend off because I was just getting a little bit burned out. And I had to take all the kids out for back to school shopping because they start up tomorrow. And yeah, it'd be good to get everybody back on a school routine. So, alright everybody, have a good evening, and like and subscribe. Thanks.